What's going on, guys? It's GBP, baby. Welcome back to another video. I hope everybody's doing well. And yeah, let's get straight into things. So you'll see that today we traded up into that bearish order block I was talking about. And you can see I had a large reaction downwards, which wasn't exactly what we anticipated. I would have liked to see higher dollar, to be honest. But again, with the interest rate announcements and the high impact news, probability is drastically lower. So make sure you're not kicking yourself about this. It's not a big deal. We simply just adjust and, adjust to the conditions and work our way around. And yeah, let's get into things. So you'll see how we traded up into this bearish order block. We came off it quite nicely, and now we've taken out Wednesday's low and we're starting to trade back into the range. You'll also see that this massive fair value gap which we formed between this high and this low, we're starting to fill that, and I do believe that price is likely going to continue to fill that and trade on lower. So where can we start looking for price to draw to? Well, we do have a clear imbalance right here. You can see there's a gap between this closing price and this opening price, so it'd be nice to see if we can work our way towards that moving into Friday. And then if you remember at the beginning of the week, we didn't actually trade down to the 50% level of this wick, and I was a little bit cautious about this. I was a little bit like, the fact that we didn't reach down there, it's a little bit suspicious to me. So I'll get that marked out as price. If we are going to be considerably expansive, it may want to try and take out that Monday low. But overall, I'm looking for this gap right here to get traded into on a daily basis. And then depending on how overzealous we want to be, price may want to run down towards this midpoint. But again, with the amount of high impact news, all these interest rate announcements and all sorts, very low probability environments, and definitely not something to stress ourselves about too much. Yeah, so moving forward, you can see we've had a clear break to the downside. This is what we call displacement. Why? Because we see a clear break lower, and we're closing below lows. So as soon as this candle closed below here, we have a break in market structure, or a shift in market structure, if that's what you want to call it, which is now suggesting to me that price should want to be looking for lower prices. So in terms of targets, we need to start looking at the lows and south side liquidity pools that we want to be trading to, such as this low right here. And then we also have some relatively equal lows right here as well. So I am looking for price to draw down into this. We will drop down to a low time frame, and hopefully we'll be able to frame where we want to see price create the high tomorrow. So we have this beautiful hourly bearish order block. Preferably price doesn't trade above this. And we also have this volume imbalance, which is now going to be an inverted fair value gap. So let's get that marked out in red. And what I mean by this is that we've traded on the upside and now we've closed on the downside, meaning that price shouldn't need to go any higher than this. Preferably, we don't even get any higher than this bearish order block. But again, we do still have the whole Asian range and London to get through before we need to start thinking about the next high impact news release. So generally speaking, I'm looking for a rally during London or early in the day, or maybe even during Asia. And then as we're rallying, I'll be then looking for shorts on dollar with expectation for longs on the pairs to run again into that sell side liquidity below here, with potential reach for that Monday low, which would be very interesting if we get down there. Another thing, we have relatively equal lows here below this low and this low now, so price is going to seek to get to that. But obviously first, I do believe we're going to see some kind of retracement to an extent. Let's go to the 15 minute and you'll see how we've traded. We have on the 15 minute, this high looks much more likely to get taken out before we trade lower. But overall, moving into tomorrow, this level right here, I'd get this marked out if I was you. This is going to be the very highest I want to see price trade. If price gets above that, I'm definitely not touching the charts, and I don't really want to be involved, because even this displacement to the downside caught me off guard enough. But overall, I'm looking for price to preferably respect this bearish order block, to look for shorts with longs on the pairs. So I hope that all makes sense. Very interesting to see how we finally reacted off that daily bearish order block, though, definitely. Because if you've been watching my videos, you remember I've drawn our attention to this a few times. We missed it here, but as we traded into it on the Thursday, it then gave us the reaction. So that's quite interesting, and we need to take that into consideration when we're looking at bullish and bearish order blocks in the future. We need to understand that price needs to actually trade into it for us to get the reaction we wanted. Because if I held my bias in that this bearish order block should act the way it should, then we probably would have been able to be more sweet in terms of delivering on this move. But overall, lower prices, any kind of rallies, I'll be looking for shorting opportunities with the expectation to start running for relatively equal lows below here and potentially below this low, with a reach for that 50% level that we didn't quite touch earlier on in the week. So let's now head over to GBP USD. We'll start here on the daily as well. Now we had high impact news with the news releases, with the interest rates, and yeah, we have a bearish order block right here that we look like we're working our way up towards. So we've grabbed, let me show you, we've grabbed sell stops below this low and all below here. So all of the sell side liquidity has been grabbed, and you can see we've had a large reaction off of that. So it's likely that price is going to want to continue higher to trade to some kind of premium. And what I mean by that is if we look at the range from this high to this low, you can see we've just closed above that midpoint. So now we're looking for premium PD arrays, anything above market price that price can trade into. So similarly to dollar, we have a bearish order block right here. We'll make this black and we'll make that thick as a, actually let's make it blue as a target. So I'd like to see if price can work its way up to there. And now this right here is going to act as a bullish order block as well. So if price does manage to trade back into the opening of this candle, that's going to offer us long opportunities for price. But again, depending on how bullish we are, price may not even want to get down there. But on the low time frames, we'll be able to find get a better look. Also, this fair value gap right here, we haven't filled it yet. So price should seek to fill this fair value gap in and line up nicely again with that bearish order block. But you can see we're clearly, you know, it looks like we're back in another consolidation, which isn't ideal. But again, we simply just adapt and adjust to price. Let's go to the 4 hour. You can see how we came down, grabbed those sell stops I was talking about, absolutely beautifully grabbed that. And you can see how we're expanding higher. Not the cleanest price action, but completely fine. Again, this is that bearish order block level lining up nicely with a 4 hour bearish order block, which gives us more reason to anticipate price trading up there. Let's go to the 1 hour to get a better look. Bullish order block right here. If price returns back down into that, I'll be looking for buys on that with the expectation to reach up here. What you'll find on the hourly as well is that bearish order block on the daily lines up nicely with this fair value gap. Let's drag that out. So again, we have PD arrays now which are overlapping. We have a 1 hour fair value gap and a daily bearish order block opening level for price to draw up to. But again, as soon as we see price drop, that's when we should start looking for longs on price to trade higher. Furthermore, we have a breaker now. Why? We got a low, a high, and a low, and then price is broken to the upside. So I'm looking for the last up close candle before the down move that caused this move. And you can see that lines up right here. Again, quite close, very close to that opening price. So I'm looking for price to retrace back into this range tomorrow. I just want to make sure that it provides support. It provides the support we need for us to then see higher prices. So I hope that all makes sense. Let's just have a quick look at the 15 minute. Again, this is what I mean, very ugly price action, but you can see how we're stepping higher. And like I said, as soon as we rally below, as soon as we fall below, ideally we get some long in opportunities to try and reach for that fair value gap up there. Let's finally finish on Euro USD. You can see we traded lower. Let's go to the daily. I don't think I've cleared my charts here. So this was the fair value gap I wanted to see, the implied fair value gap I wanted to see get traded to. That didn't quite happen. And you can see we were very aggressive because Euro in general has been quite bullish in general. So let's just get rid of all those real quick. And you can see that we have these highs to work towards. So we have Tuesday's high, Monday's high. And because we've already traded to the 50% level on Monday off this wick, the next high will simply be the high. Oh, excuse me. The next high as a the next target would simply be this high. So let's get that marked out as a potential target for price. With this kind of bullish price action, I want to see continued bullish price action, if that makes sense. You can see we've pretty much filled in this fair value gap. Volume is respecting the 50% level, which is very bullish to me. It does look like I'm going to have to do a IP to data range video very soon to try and figure out where price is likely going to be drawing to over the next few weeks, because this price action is crazy, guys. So anyway, we came down, got low, high, lower low, breaker, price traded down into that before expanding higher. The fact that we're now above and getting towards this consolidation, price likely won't retrace that deeply, like it won't retrace as deeply as we traded higher. So we need to try and look for some PD arrays for us to key off of, for us to then run for these highs that we want to start targeting. So let's go down to the 1 hour, see if we can find anything, and you'll see, voila, we have a beautiful, absolutely gorgeous bullish order block right here. So let's get that opening marked out. This will be I'd like to think that price will respect this. If we trade below this bullish order block, are we then looking at this high? But ideally price shouldn't need to come all the way down into this level. This bullish order block should provide the support it needs for us to then reach our next targets, which, like I said, will be simply above this high, which we're nearly at, and we might trade through during Asia, this high, and then, like I said, we have this high as well. But overall, in terms of looking for longs, I do believe Euro is going to be the better pair to trade, purely because you can see there's significantly more strength. So any kind of retracement that we see during London range to create a Judah swing, again, as price is falling, we should be looking for longs with the expectation to release above these highs here and potentially up here. And as that's happening, dollar should be rallying to some extent into some kind of bearish PD array, such as this bearish order block, before sending price lower. So I hope that all makes sense, guys. Make sure to drop So make sure to check out the comments, join the new mailing list. From June, I'll be dropping mailing lists with lots of juicy content for you guys. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, drop a comment, and I'll catch you guys on Sunday. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.